All right. Hello, everybody. Hi. Oh my gosh, there's people here already. Okay, let's see. Where do I start? It's been a really interesting past few days. It started on Saturday when I started getting all these notifications about my YouTube channel getting comments, and they were all like these guys trolling. Like they were angry guys coming to troll my video. I don't know if you guys watched my last live, but I was talking about how a lot of people believe modern women are the cause of men's unhappiness, and some guy, I can't remember his name, something replicate something, took my video, used clips of it, and posted it. Now he only talked about me saying things like, a lot of times men blame modern women for their unhappiness and how modern women are different now and society's changed. But he never put like the reasoning that I had in my video, which is men are unhappy because of patriarchy and sexism. They are creating, standards, and they're creating this idea of masculinity in a man that is not really attainable right now. Like society's changed and it's causing depression. I talked about how men are really struggling with this. But anyway, you guys can watch the video. It's up. So this guy takes the video. He talks about me in the video, but he doesn't post his face. And, he doesn't tag me. I don't care that you use my video. I don't even care that doing his silly thing. Doesn't matter to me. But then all these people started trolling my channel. And it was funny because trolls make me laugh. And I just if you troll me, it's like, okay, let's go. I like trolls. I like to mess with you. And so way back and forth. I think that video has like over 300 comments on it right now. Anyway, so trolls came, and then a guy invited me to be on his live stream last night. And I went on his live stream. I was pretty sure before I even got there that I was walking into the wolf's den. But I was okay with that. I was actually like, yeah, okay, let's go. And when I got there, there were a lot of, men who, what are they? The men going their own way. Those guys, the men that never going to get married. Like these are threats. Those guys, don't forget the guys that are like going to foreign countries to find feminine women and women with traditional values. Those guys. So it was really funny because I realized that my world is so different than the world these people are living in. Some of the stuff, some of it, I don't know if you guys watched it last night. I know some people tuned in, and like I got a lot of people on my Facebook talking about you all couldn't listen anymore because it was so crazy. Oh my God, y'all, I was laughing, like dying laughing, because it was really, some of the stuff was so ridiculous. It was so crazy that I just honestly couldn't believe people believe any of this. And then it made me realize that, these kinds of, what do we want to call them? These groups of people talking to each other, passing misinformation, this type of behavior is how we got Trump as president. Like you have people with, like one of the things they were saying that the government gave women all of their rights. Like they were just handed to women. That's like saying the government freed the slaves. Like people fight for their right to not be oppressed. Like women fought for the rights that we have now. Government didn't just magically grant us rights. There were movements, there were battles to get to that, to change laws, to make it so that women had rights. This didn't magically, the government didn't magically come in and say, oh, now you have rights. Ting, there you go. You have rights now. That's not how things work. So that was one that was crazy. And I see there's a lot of comments going on. So let me, look over here. Yeah. So anyway, you could tell that another thing is you could tell a lot of these guys did not have girlfriends. And in fact, most of the guys who are following the red pill and the men going their own way, all of those guys usually are men who are really struggling in the dating world, really struggling with getting women. In fact, like I was saying yesterday, and I was talking to, the guy, the voice in the background, because, Marcus was here. The ladies who know me, Marcus was here last night. My mom was here, and they were listening to the whole thing, and they were cracking up because it was so crazy. But I've come to realize that there are two sets of men, because I don't have these issues with the men I know in my real life. I don't hear these kinds of things from the men I know in my real life. I mean, the men in my real life never complain about women like this. They have none of these beliefs about women being subservient to them or submitting to them. None of the men in my life ever say any of the crazy things that these men say. But I also realize that the men that I know actually get women. They actually talk to women or have dates or been married or get married or are married. Even my friend posted, I put it on my Facebook page, posted a little clip, guy's a millionaire. He was talking to, he was on like a podcast, and one of the girls who was, talking about she was going to make sure her man had a home cooked meal, and make sure he was always sexed properly or something like that. And the millionaire was like, I can get that anytime I want. That's not what I want. And she was like, millionaires don't care about educated women. And he was like, yes, we do. It's like two worlds of men. So now that I like yesterday, now that I went into the other world, which was, again, if you guys have a lot of time and want to lose a few brain cells and hear some of the conspiracy theories that came out of that conversation, go ahead and listen to it. But it's a lot. It's rough. And so, yeah. So there's two types of men. Men that I know in real life who don't believe this mess, don't subscribe to it, have no trouble dating women. And then you have this other group of men. And I'm just going to put it out there. Usually the other group have some kind of struggle that makes it hard for them to date. And part of it is, society, it's not fair. They're either short, physically unattractive, don't make a lot of money. I'm not going to say that those things don't impact your dating life, because they do as men. It's just a fact. That's why men will go and find a way to make a lot of money, because, having a better career, increasing your income makes you higher on the attractiveness scale. You'll become more attractive to women if you have more money. I mean, it's just a fact. I'm not going to deny it. But when you go over into their world, you look at them and you see what's out there. A lot of them have aliases on their, Facebook or their YouTube channels. They don't have a profile pic. Those are all very telling things to women. Like, we see through it. Like, I know in my book, I talk about men being insecure, and it's true. Like, men struggle with insecurities. And that is one of the things that women need to understand. Like, men are not as confident as they think they are or say they are. I mean, one of the things that always just tells me how insecure a guy is if he tells me how much he makes and I never asked him. That just tells me you don't feel secure in what you're doing or how much money you're making. It's just an immediate tell that you're insecure in who you are. So, when I see that, I'm tickled, because I'm like, oh, you're telling on yourself. You're telling me that you're not secure in your manhood, because I didn't ask you how much you made. In fact, I don't care. In fact, all the men I know who make very good money, they've never told me how much they made, because they're secure. So, men are always putting these little tells. There's so many little tells. And then they think, because of what they say, that, oh, I have a girlfriend. Sure you do, bud. Sure you do. If you had a girlfriend, you wouldn't be on the internet attacking women. You just wouldn't. It's just not something that men with girlfriends or wives do. They don't have time. Also, men who are making money or, working, they don't have time to sit on the internet and argue with women. It's just it's telling. Like, your insecurities are out there. So, yeah. At the end of the night, I came to the conclusion that I had talked to a bunch of incels, and I'd never done that before. It's not my world. But yeah, it was funny. You heard Marcus You're not secure cooking. Okay, let me look at some of these comments here. There were a lot of angry black men, yes. And yes, a lot of you guys don't have girlfriends. You did, you know, the other thing I want to talk about is because of these two very distinct group of men, there's something that I also need to point out is that there's definitely a class division. And that's just, you know, it's a fact. I mean, there's difference because a lot of the guys who are struggling, you know, they don't have education and they get mad at, oh, you missed it, Tracy. It was wild. I'll send you the link. It's a difference in their educational backgrounds, in their social circles. I mean, there's huge distinct difference in the men who are not struggling with women and dating and the men that who are. And it's like it's building kind of a bitterness. I think like they're very angry and upset, and I understand life's not fair. You know, I can kind of empathize that life isn't treating you fairly because you don't have the stuff that you think you should have, you think you deserve. But it was just it's rough because unfortunately, if you stay in a social circle of, you know, that doesn't understand like really how the world works and it's giving you misinformation and you believe it, but yet you still don't get the results. This is the part that's really baffling to me is like you guys are listening to these men and women who are perpetuating the same thing that you think is true. Like women are supposed to be, you know, supposed to be led by men. In fact, there was a woman on last night. Oh girl, whew. Now that one, I felt sorry for her because it was so much internalized misogyny. I mean, she really got on there and she said that women need to be led by men and that I was in denial because I wouldn't admit that women need to be led by men. And she said that women who are single mothers were raising monsters and they were bastards. And it was, you know, I didn't even like, it was so crazy to hear it come out of a woman's mouth. And I know that internalized misogyny is real. And I know there are a lot of women that, you know, take in that foolishness and perpetuate it onto other women. Like, I know that. But when you hear it, you know, live and, you know, I would never have that conversation with her. Like, I would never meet her. She would never be around me and I would never be around her. So I would never ever hear it. But to hear it was like, oh my gosh, she really believes that. She really believes that she needs a man to lead her. Like, she really believes that and I didn't ask her if she was married because I had a feeling she wasn't, and I wasn't going to attack her because I don't believe women have to be married to raise children, or, you know, so I wasn't going to use the same tools that they use on us feminists because this is just not my thing. But, you know, she was really upset. And it's like I was about to say, like, you all are going to these people and getting this advice, but you're not getting any results. Like, these guys are still single. These women are still single. They're not getting together with each other, which is another point I brought up. They believe the same things, but, you know, the incels and the women who submit, they don't date each other. Why don't y'all date each other? You guys can live in your little bubble and be happy with your beliefs, but you don't even get together. But then when you see that what you believe is not working, you get angry at the people who are happy and doing their own thing. That doesn't even make sense. Like, you're upset, but I'm good. Like, they kept, even the guy who used my video in the first place, you know, he wrote on there, he put on the video, Tracy, this one's crazy. He put on a video that I was 35 and single. He doesn't even know me, complete stranger on the internet. So a bunch of people came to my YouTube calling me single, which was hilarious. And it's like, that I was 35. You know, if you're a gigolo, Raphael, sure, women are paying you, right? Again, you guys, tell on yourselves. When you write certain things, women like me learn a lot about you. We read between the lines. We know when you're lying. don't play yourself, which I think is what you guys are having a hard time with. You're trying to date women that you see, and again, it's a different time. Like, you see all these women on the internet and they're pretty and you're attracted to them and you really want to talk to them, and then you say stuff like that, and then you're like, and then the woman is like, oh, okay, and she don't want to talk to you. Then you're upset. Oh, these chicks, they are attitude problem. No, you don't know how to talk to women. Just admit you don't know how to talk to women, and you would like to learn. I think that is something a lot of you guys are struggling with. You don't know how to talk to women. Well, you know what? Look, I'm not gonna call them low value. I'm gonna say they have a hard time talking to women. That's why they're mad. Another thing is, like, yeah, you guys are incels because men who have sex regularly are angry all the time. Just so you know, the guys that are out really having sex voluntarily, because women like them and will touch them, those guys are really calm and happy. They're not angry all the time like you guys. You guys are angry. It's just very, it's obvious that you guys are really struggling. So what I guess, I know they have like the wife school and all that stuff, but honestly, y'all need some kind of school. I know me and Marcus joke about husband school, but I think y'all need it. You need to learn how to talk to girls. I think the generation that came after mine that never went outside to play and never really learned how to talk to girls and got on the devices early and only know how to send DMs and never been able to hold a conversation. And I know this is true because when outside was open, because it's not open because of the pandemic, when I used to go outside, the guys that will say all sorts of crazy stuff to me on my YouTube, I've seen you outside before, guys like you outside before, and you guys are scared of me. Like, you won't talk to me. I'm like, you see me, you'll stare, you'll look, but you won't come up to me. And I know this because I know that my presence is a lot for you. So when I see you guys online and I see you talking all the trash, I know that you won't do that in person. I also know that if you saw a woman you were attracted to, you would have a really hard time going to that woman and asking her out on a date. And it might be because you've never had any practice. Might be because you're intimidated. I don't know. But you guys need to work on learning how to talk to women because that's the real issue. It's not that women won't submit to you. It's not that modern women are have attitudes and don't know how to act. It's that you don't know how to talk to women. And you are having no success with women because you have no idea what you're doing. And you need to learn that you can't, I know it's not working for you guys. You can't be mean to women and then expect them to like you. How's that work? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Stop it. Stop being mad at women. Women didn't cause your problems. That's on you. You got to work on you. And for the women who are, like the woman that got on there, she was really mad, y'all. She was mad at me. She was really mad. But the women who are angry at women like me who are feminists and want to call us hoes and want to say we need to close our legs, want to try to shame me, those tactics don't work on us, sweeties. We feminist, independent women, the women that you say the problems, we don't have any trouble getting a man. You know why? Because we're confident in ourselves. We don't shame other women for having a sex life. They're adults. Everybody can mind. If you mind your business, I mind my business. I'm not worried about what's happening in your life. But if you're worried about what's happening in mine, there's an issue. There's an issue. But you're upset because women like me are getting what we want and you're not. And instead of taking a moment and saying, well, how come it's working for them? The woman told me that we'll see. You'll see what is going to happen. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? I'm good. My family's here. We happy. What's going to happen? I'm okay. But if you stop trying to shame women as a woman, please stop that. And really take a look at yourself and say, why am I unhappy? That's where you start. Like, what have you learned that you need to unlearn? Because there's a lot of unlearning, especially if you've raised in a very religious, really restrictive home. I even talk about that in my book. Like, a lot of women are struggling with being told that they're supposed to be the support of the man, and man. Oh, that was the other thing. Oh, they were talking about. This is another crazy one, Tracy. They got into a discussion about if a man has a baby with a woman and then they get to, either break up or get divorced, and she goes and moves on with her life and gets a new man and he moves in, that's wrong. What? She's not allowed to move on with her life? There were many statements in the conversation last night that showed me that, like, there's a lot of men that feel like they have possession over women. Like, even the guy that I was interviewing with, he was talking about women posting pictures on Instagram when they have a man. Men don't own us. We're in a like Marcus and I are in a relationship. We're happy. We are partners. We're together. He doesn't own me, and I don't own him. Like, there's no ownership. People don't own each other. Like, there's no control over one or the other. I think that a lot of these guys feel possessive over women, and they need to get out of that. Even women sometimes feel possessive over a man. But if you break up with somebody, they can move on. They move on. Be happy. Do your thing. You should be moving on too. If you are so, and that's another tell. Let me tell you another tell for insecure men. If you keep talking about your ex and you keep talking down about your ex, you're not over your ex. That your ex is living in your head rent free. And if you keep bringing him or her up, it's a problem. So what is wrong with the statement, women close your legs? It's shaming. Patriarchy and sexism uses shame to control women. So for women to be sexually free means that men can't control their sexuality anymore. So if you can get a woman to feel ashamed of herself for just being a grown-up and doing what she wants with her body and her life and minding her own business, then you can get her to feel insecure and feel bad. And that's why it's used. That's why people call women sluts. That's why people call women hoes. I mean, there are no equivalent words for men. There's all these words to shame women into, being back in the control of men, being in the sexual control of men. So there's a lot of that in our culture of trying to get women to not be proud of who they are. Yeah. And so the financial, I don't know if y'all see in the comments, financial abortion. So first of all, I had to ask, what the hell is it? So apparently some fellas have gotten together and believe that if a woman can abort a baby, they should be able to financially abort themselves from caring for their kids. I'm not making this up. This is a real thing. They really are serious about that. And it's like I said, last night was a lot for me. I laughed a lot because it was so ridiculous. But, trying to get people to understand that if men have the ability to stop pregnancy, to stop having children before the pregnancy. That's their body autonomy. Women can choose to go through with the pregnancy or not. That is independently a woman's choice. Period. That's it. Nothing else in there. Men, if you have sex with a woman and you don't make sure that you don't get her pregnant, you just gotta wait and see. And if she has that baby, that is your child. You should be financially responsible for your child. Life is not exactly fair, but that's what it is. And if you don't like it, too bad. It is what it is. Yes, Tracy. If you watch that live, you will hear, well, you'll see me laughing, but you will hear my family in the background, like, falling out, cracking up. Like, what the hell are they talking about? It was just... It's like when I say we are really living in two different worlds. There's a real class division where people who are not getting facts, getting actual information, who are, giving this misinformation to one another, because there's no such thing as financial abortion. It's made up. And discussing it like it's a real thing. And it's not, it's not a real thing. Stop. Full stop. Just being able to talk about just talking about things that are not real, and putting out false information, it's seriously problematic. And I guess, social media is making it worse because, the incels got their own little community. They are all together. They can, keep, moving this false information between them. But I mean, look, men either respect women or they don't. Doesn't matter how a woman is dressed. Doesn't matter how she acts. If a man respects women, he respects women, period. If he respects women, or, quote unquote, respects women based on how she's dressed or behaved, he doesn't respect women. He doesn't respect women at all. And women are under no obligation to, be respectful to men. Whatever. People can be respectful, but women are not obligated to be respectful to men. And, choosing to post photos, nude photos, half naked photos is a personal choice. Women have autonomy over themselves. We can do what we want. Now, that's a personal choice. Not everybody wants to do that. If you don't want to post nude pictures, you don't have to. If you want to, you do it. It's personal. You don't have to. And that's the thing about feminism. Feminism is about choice. We as women have the choice to live our lives the way we want to. Nobody can tell us what we have to do, or we have to respect men and we have to respect the man I'm with because I can't post that picture. And then the thing about it is, if you're with an insecure man, it's awful. I've been in a situation with an insecure man, and there's nothing you can do with an insecure man. They got to fix themselves, and they probably will never fix themselves. But a secure man, if you post your bikini picture, he gonna like the picture. He's gonna like the picture. That's what it is. Because men who are secure in themselves are not worried about you posting attractive pictures. He's with you because he loves you and he's attracted to you. So he's not going to trip because of what you post. But for all, and again, that comes under to the possession thing. Men don't have ownership over women. So she can do what she wants on her Instagram or her Twitter. She can post what she wants and the clothes she wants. That's a personal choice. Let's see. What? I don't know, Raphael, what you're gonna eat. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, it was just super nutty last night. If you guys, and it was over 3 hours. I can't believe I sat on a live for 3 hours. It was a lot. So, oof, that was too much for me. What are you writing?
You didn't tell me last night.
No. So anyway, the voice in the background, I think Marcus is going to always forever be the voice in my background.
The voice in the background.
The voice in the background. But yeah, it was trippy. I really hope that the guys who are following these incel whisperers, I wish you guys, what is the truth, CJ Moore? What's the truth? Tell me the truth. What's the truth? Because you guys are listening to these guys who can't get a girlfriend. They're like, oh, I'm going to a foreign country and the women there are traditional and feminine. Yeah, the women there are poor, okay? That's what it is. You're going to a place where people are poor and they're trying to get out of poverty. You're exploiting the power dynamic. You're exploiting people who are poor. But yeah, if you want to, tell us that you're going to a foreign country to get a woman, that's just telling me you can't talk to women here. It's just telling me you don't have the capability. Yeah. Yes, exactly, Tracy. They are not on Instagram or on YouTube Live for 3 hours. Men who have women don't do that. No. Yeah, Marcus is definitely in the background, but you said I was deflecting from the truth. Like, CJ, what's up? What's the truth? Tell me the truth. I don't know what truth you're speaking of, and I'm not gonna sit on here for 3 hours. I got stuff to do. I have a man. So they're saying, "Are you alive, Marcus? And do you need a wellness check?"
I'm actually here. I feel very good. I'm just not a very public person.
That's right.
That's my choice.
That's his choice. He's just here to support me.
Right.
He supports me because he loves me. But yeah. Yes, he's alive. So anyway, that was my crazy past few days. And they're still trolling my YouTube, by the way. I'm still getting the crazy comments, the crazy, and they're still calling me single, which is still funny. I think that's funny. But anyway, I hope that anybody that's taking my videos to try to, I don't know, make me the bad guy for feminists, or make me the bad guy in the men going their own way movement. Like, I hope you guys at least tag me next time. Don't just put, me in a video of your video and don't tag me. Like, at least, give me some credit or something. And what else? You guys gotta make sure you keep following. Make sure you follow all my pages. I think I've told you guys before. I'm Kinda Cole on Twitter, Kinda Cole on Facebook, and I'm Kai Fly Mommy on Instagram. Make sure you follow all the Date Like a Woman pages because it's all Date Like a Woman. And I don't know. I think me and Marcus are going to work on a husband school program and help you guys out so you can learn to talk to women, so women will like you and want to be around you and spend time with you, instead of listening to the incel whisperers who got you out here talking about, because there was one guy last night, he was real mad. He was like, we need to stick together and have you all going off with other men somewhere. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying, it's really interesting that you all are listening to these guys who don't have girlfriends, they don't have wives. So I don't know if you want to keep doing that, but yeah, it was trippy, it was crazy. I didn't go live last week. I got busy. I am still trying to do this every week. It's difficult for me because I'm not like the live person, but I'm getting the hang of it. Tracy is encouraging me. I'm working on it. But anyway, I just wanted to share the madness. And, if you guys want to reach out to me and, give me some subjects that you want to talk about for the guys that are struggling with women, I can help you if you want me to, but you got to send me your questions or send me your topics if you want to talk about it. And I think that's it. I think that's all. So it was cool. I'm glad you guys are here. It was fun. And thank you, Tracy. I will do this again next week. All right. So bye to all of you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.